Hey, what's up, BookTube? It's Bobi, aka Paginator, and I'm going to share my reading experience of the new Holly Black Folk of the Air book, How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories. Did I say that right? Alright, so I ordered the Fairly Special Edition on a whim, and it arrived today. It is just before 3 o'clock on New Year's Eve, 3 in the afternoon, and I'm going to open this sucker up. We'll take a look at it together, and then I thought I would vlog my experience. If I can get through this book today, it of course will be my last book of 2020, and I'm really hoping to end on a high note, so let's keep our fingers crossed that this book is amazing. Alright, the package is being difficult, so just struggling a little bit. Alright, it's all wrapped in bubble wrap. Thank you for taking good care of the book. Alright, so it's out of the package, kind of. We've got bubble wrap to get through, and then it comes in a signature fairy loop pouch. Oh, yay. Can never have too many of these pouches. They're so handy. Okay, let's just take a first glance inside. Gold sprayed pages, like shiny gold. Oof, and I can see the hardcover has purple on it. Let's just kind of go like this. It's so pretty. Oh, there is no way I'm letting my students touch this book. If I like this book enough to recommend it to them, I will order another copy. Okay? No. Oh my gosh, they are not touching this. Okay, so purple with gold foiling all the way around. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Let's read the back, shall we? It says, a prince of fairy, nourished on cat milk and contempt, born into a family overburdened with heirs, perhaps it's no surprise that he turned out the way he did. Some might think of him as a strong draught, burning the back of one's throat, but invigorating all the same. You might beg to differ. So long as you're begging, he doesn't mind a bit. Oh, Carden, I've missed you. Or have I? Alright, gold and papers. You see we've got crowns and daggers and botanical things and moths and acorns. Gold foiled tree and wording on the hardcover. This is just, it's almost too beautiful. Oh, okay. Here we have a drawing and the title page. This says illustrated by Ravina Kai. We have a map here. I believe this is the same map that comes in all of the Folk of the Air books. If I am incorrect, please tell me so. Look at this. First page illustrated with the dropped case letter, like, it's so pretty. Like, we've got illustrations and oh my heavens, you guys, I can't like show you every single page of this. That would take forever. But we've got illustrations at the beginning of every chapter, as well as on most of the pages here as I'm flipping through. Like, holy crap. I don't see a single page that doesn't have something on it. Even if it's just the little gold thing at the top here. This one, of course, has the illustration down the side. This is so beautiful. Ooh, it might take me a minute to just like kind of get over how pretty this is, but okay. Let's read the inside of the dust jacket. An irresistible return to the captivating world of Elfhame. Once upon a time, there was a boy with a wicked tongue. Before he was a cruel prince or a wicked king, he was a fairy child with a heart of stone. The #1 New York Times bestselling author Holly Black reveals a deeper look into the dramatic life of Elfhame's enigmatic High King Carden. This tale includes delicious details of life before the cruel prince and adventure beyond the Queen of Nothing, a familiar but pivotal moments from the Folk of Air trilogy told wholly from Carden's perspective. This new installment in the Folk of Air series is a return to the heart-racing romance, danger, humor, and drama that enchanted readers everywhere. Each story is paired with lavish and luminous luminous full-color art, making this the perfect collector's item to be enjoyed by audiences both new and old. Oh my goodness. All right. So is this a full novel continuation of the series? No, but we're diving back into that world. We're getting stories from Cardan's point of view. I'm really interested to learn more about his origin and how he got to be so grouchy and such a bully. As well as how he learned to hate stories. Because how could you? Alright, I'll be back later with more details, information, etc. So I'm now finished drawing out my chapter tracker in my bullet journal. I don't do these for every book I read, but almost every book I read. There's something satisfying about coloring in a chapter when I'm done reading it. So we'll take a look at this one and you can see what I came up with for this book. So I did a 2-page spread. On the left side, I just wrote out the title, drew a little acorn, and the author's name. And then on this side, I've got a space to mark my call pile rating when I'm done reading. I've got my start and finish dates. I did write down that I finished it the same day I started it, even though I haven't even started the book yet, because I know I'm going to finish it. It's only 170-something-ish pages, and the illustrations, with that all combined, I'm going to finish it today. There's no doubt. And then I drew this chibi kind of version of Prince Cardan. His crown is meant to be gold little leafies, but it turned out looking more like little willow branches or something. I don't care. And then the numbers represent the chapters. There are 11 of them. So as I read each one, I'll be able to color them in. And I have picked out 3 colors for the coloring in. I have black, purple, and kind of a goldish color. I will show you this when I'm done reading and you can see how it all got colored in. Hopefully it doesn't look too awful. Hey again. I've just finished the first 2 stories. The first one is very short. It kind of pulls us back in with Jude and Cardan shortly after the events of the last book and kind of just gives us a little glimpse into them on a mission somewhere together. And then the second story is about a story that Cardan heard when he was a very young child. And I don't want to recap the story and retell it to you because you need to read it for yourself. And I don't want to spoil things, but I will say I learned 2 things. It clicked in my head and went, this is why Cardan doesn't like stories. And also, this is why he is so shut off from people and so afraid to express love. And why he's freaking rude. It makes sense. That's all I'm going to say for now. Let's keep reading more stories. Okay. I was only going to stop and talk to you guys after every few stories, but I just finished the 3rd one and there's a part that I want to share with you. In this 3rd one, Cardan's a little bit older and he is discovering that he's angry about a lot of stuff and he is kind of reveling in his villainousness. Nicasia shows up and he starts to form this foursome of cruelness. They're just being bullies and yeah, he and his little squad. So the end of this story, I want to share this 3 little paragraphs with you because I feel like it's just, I don't know, it's striking a note with me. I'll read it to you and yeah. Okay, it says, villains were wonderful. They got to be cruel and selfish, to preen in front of mirrors and poison apples, and trap girls on mountains of glass. They indulged all their worst impulses, revenged themselves for the least offense, and took every last thing they wanted. And sure, they wound up in barrels studded with nails, or dancing in iron shoes heated by the fire, not just dead, but disgraced and screaming. But before they got what was coming to them, they got to be the fairest in all the land. I just really like those paragraphs, and then something's very cool about that, and just thinking about villains in general, and Cardan is fully immersing himself into his villain life, and even though that's not cool to be villain, I just liked those paragraphs. Am I making any kind of sense? Probably not. But we're gonna move on to the next stories, and I'll talk to you in a bit. Hey, I just finished the 4th, 5th, and 6th stories. We get a little glimpse at Jude again. We get some more Nicasia, and yeah, I feel like I'm probably giving too much detail, so that's probably all I'm going to tell you for now. The stories are good. I'm trying to manage my expectations, because when we get a new book in a series, even if it's not like a full-fledged novel in the series, you want to be fully immersed, and I need to remind myself it's short stories, we're getting glimpses of things, but it's still really fun, and they're well written. They're from Carden's point of view, which is fun, and yeah, it's just good reading. I am standing up in front of my Harry Potter bookshelf. I needed to stand up and stretch for a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and then return to the stories. Forgot I was going to show you a glimpse of where I'm at with my chapter tracker, so here we go. So you can see I have colored in most of his jacket and his vest. We're going to do like kind of a gold color. Sorry for the shadows here. The microphone on my camera is making weird shadows. We're going to do kind of a gold color on the chapter 9 stuff. The kind of roughy part of his collar is going to be black, and then I think we'll go black on the pants as well when we get there. So there we go. Hey, I just finished chapter 9. I realized that sitting in this chair my shirt bunches up weird. That's annoying. Anyway, finished story number 9 or chapter 9 or whatever. That one was titled How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories, and there were some aha moments in the last several stories, further like realizations about Carden, and we also see Jude in one of these. And just to give you kind of a glimpse of another one of the illustrations, I've got Jude and Carden staring each other down. It is fantastic. Let's take a look at it. So here we go. So he's kind of got his head raised looking down on her condescendingly, and she is ready to give him the business. Like, oh, she's mad. And she should be. We all know that. Well, it's done. I just finished reading the last story, and oh, this was a good book. It was a good little like trip back into the Folk of the Air world, and just, oh yeah, not to mention it being stunningly beautiful to look at, and the silver foiling on here with the trees, like it made something good to like a good texture to monkey with as I was reading the pages, and just yeah, gorgeous. I'll show you the completed chapter tracker. He is colored in. I did rate this as 4 stars. I was tempted to go 5, but it's a very short collection of stories, not a completed plotted novel, and so I decided to go 4. I don't know. But that brings my total book count of books finished for the year of 2020 to 208. My Goodreads goal was 150, so we passed it. Good. I firmly believe that quarantine like helped get that book count up, because while I was teaching online in the springtime, I did have some time to read, although during the month of May it was so stressful trying to get things finished up that I hardly read anything at all. But otherwise, that's been one good thing to come out of 2020, is that I did a lot of reading. I know I read a lot anyway, but yeah. So there we go. I don't know what else to say about this book. I highly recommend picking it up if you are a fan of this series. If you haven't read the series, you're not going to understand quite a few of the references and things here, so I would say read it after you've read the original series. There is a little Easter egg. Carden and Jude are in the mortal world, and they're watching a movie, and he describes the general synopsis of the movie, and I'm like, oh, I know what movie they're talking about. Oh, I've seen it. I love it. Oh, so that was kind of fun. And it was kind of fun to watch them in the mortal world for a little bit. Of course, they're getting into trouble, and stuff happens. I better not say any more because I don't want to spoil anything for you, but again, if you are a fan of this series, I highly recommend picking this up. I don't know if you can still order this through Fairy Loot. Check their website. If not, to get a regular copy, the story is going to be the same whether you get this gorgeous purple cover or not. Yeah, I think that's all there is to say. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog and that you're having a wonderful and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.